All right, wanted to go over Outlook Therapeutics. There's a specific reason why I wanted to go over it, and the main reason is because I underestimated it way too much. I really underestimated the volume. I underestimated its capability to run up, and I ignored the technical indicators, the ones that I typically pride myself. Now there are some traders that I've been speaking with who have told me to ignore some of the moving averages, like the 100, 200, 50-day moving averages, just because when you are in low float land, none of that stuff really matters. Which he's probably right. They're probably right about that. Like, when you're dealing with a lower float, it's easier to manipulate than you are with the higher float. So, those smaller indicators that I would use for stocks that are above one, over $10. Anything over $10, I use the moving averages with, and then I also use the MACD and the RSI. But with Outlook Therapeutics, it's not like they were doing anything spectacular. Like, if we go to their actual news, where did I put their news actually? Let's see in here, Outlook Therapeutics. It's not like they did anything, outstanding. I know recently they were coming out. They came out with some business outlook, some update on what they wanted to do with their business, and you can see with some of their FDA acceptance and compliances that they were able to raise enough capital to be able to continue with their phase 3 clinical study. What they're studying, I can't say that I know 100%. I do not know, but what I do know is that this stock, it has continued to go up and has been doing it from like the 85-cent level. From 85 cents on up to $3.70. You really can't beat that. I'm just waiting for this to load up. You can't beat that. That's, we're looking at the all-time low right here. And then when it gapped up, I remember this day when it gapped up, it popped up on my screener. But because I'm so fixated on my actual technicals, so I have the blue, the green, and the yellow line. Those are my technical indicators. And with those lines, the blue line is the 200-day moving average, the green line is the 100-day, and the yellow line is the 50-day. So anytime when there's a stock below the 200-day moving average, I really tend to ignore it because I feel like it's just going to get rejected before then. But if we look at the MACD and the RSI, they complement where the direction of OTLK is heading. OTLK right now on this day, which is today, May 20th, it is still not overbought, right? It is still not overbought. It's still like right there in the 60, bullish area, the 60 RSI level. So when it's there, when it's like right above 50, that's when it starts to head bullish. And as you can see right here in the MACD, it's still green. The momentum is still going. And this is off the one day, 5-year chart. So each candlestick represents 1 day. But like I said, it's underneath this 200-day moving average. And I really just thought it was going to continue this to be smacked down. So today, when I saw that there was a massive volume surge, I didn't think that it was going to go from 1.9 million the next day, 51 million the next day, 76 million, and then today back to 51 million. Like, I didn't think it was going to go that high. That was the last thing I think. Once I see a stock trading 4 or 5 times its float, I already think that it's automatically going to come down. So that was 2 reasons why I didn't want to buy this, because one, it was below the 200-day moving average, so I thought it was going to get rejected. And then the second one is because that the volume was just too much. The volume was, I'm thinking it's ready to explode, and everyone's going to start shorting it. But as you can see right now, it closed at $3, but it is trading after hours 65 cents above that. I did buy at $3.60. Not something that I wanted. Obviously, I bought after hours, after work, and I am just testing it. I'm testing to see if it does hold above 360. It's not something that I would typically buy right now, even though I do like biotechs. I do appreciate them a whole lot. I know that they can run, like this is a prime example. Biotechs can run pretty well, but I'm not a big fan of chasing. So the fact that it's in the 360 area, and when earlier today I was looking at it at 270 and I wanted to buy and I chose not to, just because I thought it was just going to continue to get rejected, which it didn't. It broke out to above 315. So let's actually take a look at that, right? So all day, this is today. This is today. The market open. It gaps up on the, well, not gaps up, but it spikes up on the market open. It goes from 210 to 211 to let's say, so our hold fast at 270, 280, but it did come up. It did top out at $3. Now this is pre-market, right? This is pre-market at 7. Then when the market opens, right around here, it actually gets up to 336, I believe, 336, 334. So it did go up higher, but it was holding this 360-ish, 370, 365, 370 area for quite majority of the day. Who would have thought that this next candlestick would have been a strong candlestick from the 260-ish up to 311? And I remember I was kind of looking at this when I was at work, and it's kind of hard to trade and do your job at the same time. So I try to get my work done a little bit early so I can give movers like this some time. Hold on. All right, so I'm back. Like I was saying, before the ambulance was going by, I usually, I don't like chasing stocks like these. When I'm at work, it's kind of harder to really give it some time. It's really hard to give it the focus and attention that it needs on stocks like this. This is why I end up playing stocks that are in the $10 area, because not only are they a little bit more controlled, given on the news that they have, what have you, they're slightly a little bit more controlled, but you won't get this quick run up into a pullback, and then you have to sell, not wanting to sell, because it's starting to hit some of your key areas. It's starting to hit some of your key support levels or your key risk levels that you're like, okay, I lost 1%, it's time to get out. I lost 2%, because the name of the game is minimizing your risk. So I thought that I was minimizing my risk by not getting into this one because it was below the 200-day moving average. I was proved wrong. Not only that it was running on 3 consecutive days with massive volume, but the indicators still say that it has some type of room to go a little bit higher. Do I believe it will? Based on what I've been doing thus far, I can't say that it will. I want to say that it will stop at like 385, get rejected and pull right back. But some of these biotech companies, they can move, and this might be an example. Like I said, right now it's cleared over this gap down that it had back in April. So April 9th it had a gap down. It cleared that and is holding above 315 or 310. So that's really good. As you can see, the price, the bid and the ask is starting to go a little bit below what I wanted at 360. It's not a problem. Only bought 30 shares, so it's not like I'm risking a whole lot. But I did want to try and see if this was something that I could be able to use in the future when using low flow stocks at high volume and that are below their exponential moving averages. Like I said, it's not like it's doing a great deal. They were able to come up with some business plans, but I would have to take a real deep dive into the SEC filings to see if there are any potential buyers for this company. On FinViz, they had some analyst upgrades. They had them at a buy, and it was a $12 target price. So will it get up there? I think it was $12 or $8. I'm not 100% sure. Let's look. So on FinViz, We had an analyst called it an outperform. Yep, at $12, and this was in 2 days ago, or no 4 days ago, and last month that they had some that analysts initiated a rating, one outperform and the other one a buy. So, like I said, I'm not expecting a whole lot, and that's another thing with FinViz. It will give you a description of what the actual company is. This one is in New Jersey, and it focuses on commercializing monoclonal antibodies for various ophthalmic indications. So ophthalmic is like dealing with your eye. There might be like, a whole bunch of fluid in your eye or something like that. That's probably what this drug is trying to reduce. It's trying to reduce some macular degeneration. There you go. Yeah, wet age-related macular degeneration. See, I'm just reading this right now, so I don't know what this company really does. I just know what their chart does. So hopefully this will be helpful for me in the future. Just to see stocks that don't quite go according to my trading plan, and can show that it can break all my trading rules and still show some type of profitability. So I'm actually appreciative of it. It already pulled back, and hopefully there might be some more buying during this time, because right around here we're seeing that the selling is starting to die off a bit. So as I said, that's not the only thing I bought. I bought some other stuff too. SESN, that's probably the better buy that I have. But other than that, I'm not really worried. Yeah, 19, whatever. I'm not really worried. I would prefer to get more on SESN than anything else, because it was a better, for me, it was a better play. But I'm just looking at this, just recognizing that there are more opportunities, and because there are more opportunities, I can not be so steadfast on some of my trading rules. So thank you for listening if you're watching, and I will see you at the next one.